Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock's online worship service. I'm the Reverend Jennifer Brower, and on behalf of the ministry team, made up of the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore and the Reverend Jaye Brooks and myself, we welcome you to this time when we gather together from our homes. We begin this time together by kindling the flame of our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. The words of E. Cummings. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the Son's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and wings, and of the gay, great, happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any from the know of all nothing, human merely being, doubt, unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears are awake, and the eyes of my eyes are opened.
Your ministry team has been reflecting on how Shelter Rock, as a loving religious community, might best offer help and support to those who are most affected during this time of coronavirus. Our chaplains, our caring committee, our community captains, and your ministers, especially the Reverend Jennifer Brower, are deeply engaged in providing care and support to the Shelter Rock family. But what about those in the wider world who need our help? We've been identifying groups that are helping people who are most in need of assistance as recipients of a special collection. It's a time of great need for families whose breadwinners have lost their jobs. This week, the offering will benefit the Long Island Council of Churches food pantry on the South Shore. It's one of the few remaining food pantries still operating on Long Island. Many soup kitchens and food pantries have closed because they've been run by vulnerable senior citizens. But the Long Island Council of Churches food pantry has a paid staff of 2 younger people who, while taking all precautions, are able to provide food to those in need. But they're rapidly running out of supplies and could use our help. There are many ways to give. Please choose the method most convenient for you. If you choose to donate through our website, click on the donate button and then choose Special Collection. Thank you for your generosity.
The story of Easter. On Easter Sunday, people of the Christian faith gather in great joy to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. The word resurrection means to return to life after being dead. And on this holiday, this holy day, Christians celebrate Jesus' return to life after death. But before we talk about his death, we need to talk about his life. Jesus was a Jewish man, born more than 2,000 years ago. It is said he was a carpenter, like his father. When Jesus was about 30 years of age, he took up a traveling ministry. He moved around and he began preaching to the people in the towns near the Sea of Galilee, north of Jerusalem. Though there was a great deal to learn from Jesus' ministry, the central message, the main message, the core message that he shared was a message of love. He taught people to love each other, no matter what their differences. As word spread about him and his teaching, Jesus began to attract a following. More and more people came to hear him speak. Jesus chose 12 people to travel with him and learn from him. They were his students, his disciples. After 3 years of preaching in the countryside, Jesus decided to take his ministry to the big city, to Jerusalem. He arrived a week before the observance of Passover. Many people in Jerusalem had already heard of Jesus, and they welcomed him to the city. They placed palm branches on the ground before him. It was a royal welcome, like rolling out the red carpet that we do these days. Shortly after his arrival, Jesus went to the great temple in Jerusalem. It was here that people came from miles around to pray and offer sacrifices to God. But what Jesus saw when he got there made him angry. There were people selling animals for sacrifice at high prices. They were cheating people out of their money. Jesus believed that the temple should be a house of prayer and not a den of thieves. And so he chased them out. This disturbed the religious and political leaders in Jerusalem. Later that week, Jesus gathered with his disciples to celebrate Passover. They shared the Seder meal, just as many of you do with your families and friends this week. Jesus and the disciples remembered the story of how Moses led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. Although Jesus' message was popular with the people, many of whom believed that Jesus was the Messiah, the Jewish leader, who, like Moses, would see the people free from oppression, this oppression of the Roman Empire. But he was not popular with everyone. The political and religious leaders of the country thought Jesus was a troublemaker and a problem, and so they had him arrested. Jesus was brought before the Roman rulers of Palestine, who decided to punish him severely. Jesus was sentenced to die on a cross. And that very day, Jesus was crucified. And on that day, an unimaginable and terrible event occurred to Jesus' followers. On that day, the day of crucifixion, a good man, a man of deep religious conviction and concern for others, suffered and died. And God did not intervene. God did not stop the death of Jesus. There was no miracle. There was no divine power that Jesus had tucked in his utility belt like a superhero. He could not save himself. He simply died. And when he died, the people who believed in him and in his message, the people who had come to love him, did what people do. They mourned. They mourned the death of the person they cared for. They grieved the suffering he endured. They were made sorrowful by the loss of their leader, their minister, their teacher, their preacher, their companion. And they mourned the death of the hopeful future, a future of greater justice and freedom. They believed that this would come about through Jesus' message and presence. When he died, they took his body down from the cross. They wrapped him in cloth and buried him in a tomb. This tomb was like a cave. Then they rolled a huge stone in front of the entrance. 3 days later, before dawn on Sunday, one of his followers, Mary, called Mary Magdalene, came to sit by the tomb and mourn the death of her friend. But when she got there, she found the enormous stone had been rolled away and the tomb was empty. She didn't know what to think. Just then, she saw a man standing beneath a tree. Thinking he was a gardener, she said to him, "Please, if you have taken him, tell me where he lies." Then the man said her name, and Mary knew that he was her friend Jesus, risen from the dead. Overcome with joy, she ran to tell Jesus' other followers that their friend was alive and well, that he was indeed their Messiah. And she shared with them a message from him that though he would soon be with his God, he would always be with them as well. Though the Christian Gospels vary in their accounting of Jesus' resurrected presence, after the disciples experienced the presence of Jesus among them, their grief was replaced with a sense of renewed hope and meaning. Feeling Jesus among them, his disciples joyfully took up their own ministries. They went out into the world as he did, telling others what they had seen and experienced with Jesus, and preaching the message that love overcomes all terrible things, even death. People of the Christian faith believe that Jesus rose from the dead, that he was resurrected, and this is why they celebrate Easter. But what do Unitarian Universalists believe about Jesus at Easter? We believe that Jesus was one of the greatest religious teachers humankind has ever known. Jesus believed that the power of good is greater and stronger than the power of evil, and he was willing to stand up for what he believed. We believe that what Jesus taught us lives on. We believe that love does have the power to overcome all that divides human beings. And so we remember Jesus 2,000 years after his death because of what he taught. We celebrate Easter as a reminder that the very great and glorious power of love lives on.
A Tale of Two Critters by the Reverend Jaye Brooks. It was early spring. 2 long green caterpillars were sunning themselves on a tree branch.
Ah, I love this sunshine.
Ah, I love the gentle, warm breeze.
This is the life, isn't it?
Yep, it's great. I wonder, though,
What?
I wonder why sometimes one of us wraps up in a cocoon and sort of shuts down.
Well, it's just the end, isn't it? I mean, that's what happens when they're about to die. They cocoon like that and then bam, they're gone.
Gone?
Well, you know, the end.
Oh,
Why? What? You think it's different?
well, I don't know. I was just wondering.
What?
I was just wondering whether maybe something happens to them while they're in there. Something that we can't see because we can't look inside the cocoon. Something amazing. What?
Nonsense.
You don't think that anything happens in there?
No. Wrap yourself up like that, kiddo, and you're done. I mean, it's over. No more sunshine and gentle breezes. Kaput. I'm never going to wrap myself up like that and stop enjoying the sunshine.
Oh,
What?
I just wonder. Maybe they wrap themselves up because something is happening. Maybe they're changing. Maybe they're in there having a transformative experience.
What?
Transformation. Maybe that's how it happens. Maybe they change into something completely different.
What, like shapeshifters? The caterpillar equivalent of werewolves?
Not like werewolves, something beautiful, something colorful, maybe something with wings.
You think they cocoon up and turn into a bird?
No, not exactly, not a bird. It would have to be something smaller, something small. Some small, colorful, beautiful thing with wings.
Like a butterfly?
Yes, that's it. A butterfly.
It doesn't seem very likely.
It would be amazing, though.
It would be incredible.
In a good way. Wouldn't you like to be a butterfly? Not just feel the sun, but fly toward it. Not just feel the spring breeze, but ride it. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes, it would be awesome.
So maybe,
Maybe.
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 Comfortable together, happy even though they weren't certain of what might lie ahead, the 2 caterpillars continued to enjoy the warm sunshine as butterflies flitted past their branch.
Ain't gonna let
Spring House Cleaning of the Spirit by the Reverend Richard Gilbert. In the holy quiet of this promising hour, may we purge ourselves of coldness of spirit, that warm breezes may thaw our souls. May the debris of wrongs unforgiven be gathered and discarded so that we can start anew. May the slowness of spirit, frozen by the cold, be quickened to every fresh possibility. May the song that has lingered too long in our lungs be inspired by twittering bird choruses. May the grime of mistakes made be rinsed from our minds with the springtime waters of self-forgiveness. May the dust of the exhausting journey be wiped from the furniture of our lives so that it gleams again. May we muster the strength to do our own spring house cleaning of the Spirit. So may it be.
Hi everyone. Before I start singing, I just wanted to wish you all well. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves out there. And thank you to UUCSR for doing these streaming services during this time. It's bringing me a lot of hope and joy amidst everything that's going on. So today, in honor of our Easter Sunday service, I'd like to sing Beautiful City from the musical Godspell.
And rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. We may not reach the ending, but we can start. Slowly but surely mending, brick by brick and heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we'll start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. When your hope is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally a city of man.
closing words are from Rumi. Every tree, every flower, every growing thing as it grows says this truth. You harvest what you sow. With life as short as a half-taken breath, do not plant anything but love. Amen, and blessed be. Shalom.